Chapter. Awesome. Daniel, would you start by introducing yourself?
Totally happy to start. Hey everyone, my name is Danielle. I am co-founder and executive director at Open Avenues Foundation. We're an education nonprofit and we are based in Boston, but we are so pumped to have just partnered with Queens College. So excited to tell you more about Open Avenues and about the opportunities we have coming up.
And my name is Yelena Semeyko. I'm the Director of STEM Education at Open Avenues. With projects that we'll launch for you, I help project leaders to develop ideas for those micro-internships. And I usually join the first and last sessions of each project and support you throughout the whole adventure. Rua, what about you?
Yeah. I'm Rua, I'm a QC alum, so I'm so excited to be here with all of you guys and just seeing you guys' faces. I used to also be Queens College SEEK president for a few years, so I'm all about SEEK, and I'm just living it right now. So I'm the STEM education coordinator at OAF. So I support fellows, coordinate the STEM projects, and track you guys' outcomes throughout these projects if you guys get accepted. Nice.
Awesome.
So super excited to be here.
Yeah, and agenda for today, we'll do a quick icebreaker to get to know about you, talk a bit more about Open Avenues, what we are doing, discuss industry projects and answer your questions. And for the second part of this event, we thought about making it useful for you, even if you don't apply to our micro-internship. So we invited 3 project leaders to answer your questions about careers in industries, job search, etc. So please think in advance about the questions that you want to ask them, and we'll do it in the second part of the event. So for the icebreaker, I actually wanted to ask you to answer several questions so we understand where you are in your journey. And the first question is about what year you are in. I'll share the results in a second when we get most of them. Okay, 63% done. It's interesting to see this poll. And people who like Rua, Daniel, and our panel leaders, you can just say graded a long time ago if you want to. Looks like most people just finished their 3rd year, junior year. And that's a great time to do internships. Okay, so we have 80% answered. I think just for saving some time, we can end poll now and I can show you results. So almost 50% of you have just finished junior year. As I said, yes, that's very right time to start thinking about internships and getting some experience that you can put on your resume. The next question that I wanted to ask is about your summer plans, whether you want to do a full-time job or internship or part-time job or internship, or just go to vacation, and you can select several answers. So if you plan to do 2 things, please let us know too. Okay, this one goes faster, 60% answered. Okay, 80% answered. So I will again, for saving us some time, I'll end poll now. And looks like the most popular answers are that you either work part-time or do part-time internship. Glad to see that at least 20% of people are going to have some kind of vacation. And the last question that I wanted to ask is about your internship experience, whether you've done it already, if yes, how many did you have? And welcome everyone who has just joined. We are going through several poll questions just to get to know you guys. And after that, we'll quickly switch to micro-internships and information about them. Okay, let's wait to get to 80% participation. And after that, I'll share the results. Okay, it stops on 75. So let me share the results. And the majority haven't done any internships yet, which is like, it's not bad. If you just finished third year, it's really good place to start with this experience. Oh, and I haven't shared the results. So yeah, 70% haven't tried micro-internships or internships yet. Okay, thank you for answering those questions. And we can switch to conversation about what Open Avenues does and what we offer you this summer. Danielle, maybe you can cover this part.
Yeah, for sure. So I'm actually so pumped to see the results of those surveys, because at Open Avenues, we are trying so hard to offer individuals that first entry into the workforce. And so what we do is we have built a nonprofit where we are partnering with companies who are interested in offering real world experiences to students like yourselves. And we bring a cohort of fellows from these companies to launch projects with you. So we have a few individuals, we have a few of our fellows on the call today. Our fellows are from all over the world. We call them global talent fellows. And we hire global talent from companies, and we actually have them as our employees for 5 hours per week to scope and launch projects on behalf of their companies. So their job for those 5 hours is to make sure that you have a great experience taking a project from start to finish in an industry that's interesting to you. So our goal is to educate the future workforce through these projects and make sure that students have something on their resume when they finish one of these projects that is an example of work in the space. So we have data science projects, software development projects, biotech projects. We'll go through that in a bit, but there's something for everyone here, and it's a great opportunity for you to put something on your resume that is going to look really good when you go into interviews for full-time roles in the field that you want to enter for a career after school. So just to summarize, our goal is to provide these real-world project experiences with companies to you. Anyone that signs up for one of our micro-internships for this summer or throughout the year will be working with a company representative from one of the organizations that's partnered with us on these projects. And we really hope that you'll consider signing up.
Awesome, thank you. I'll cover what exactly we are going to do this summer. So we are going to offer you paid micro-internships They're called micro-internships because this is not a full-time opportunity. You don't need to work 40 hours to complete those projects. And we selected this format because we know that students we want to work with don't have that much time, even throughout the summer. Even the poll results show that many of you are interested in not in full-time opportunities, and we selected a format that allows you to do the internship and also work part-time or have a vacation. So you will work for 8 weeks, 5 hours a week with a project leader on selected challenge. And by the last week, you will present the results that you developed to the project leader, and you can put them to your resume, discuss with the hiring manager when you start looking for a full-time job, etc. At the end of this micro internship, you'll receive $600 stipend. In terms of support from project leader, you'll work very closely with this person. So we have some prerequisites for each project, what you should know in advance, but it's not like you'll need to do everything on your own. You will have lots of opportunities to ask questions about how to perform tasks, etc. And also we want you to have many discussions with project leader about career, to get insights about how industry really work, how to find job, what is good and bad about different roles in the industry. So use this time to not only to complete the project, but ask as many questions as you can about potential careers and industry insights. Some of our companies or companies that we work with, they also hiring, including people for entry-level jobs. We actually have this spring, we have 2 students who were hired by our fellows, which is super exciting for us, and we hope that you'll have those opportunities as well. In terms of other benefits that we offer through those micro-internships is we'll discuss with you your LinkedIn profile and resume and help you to update it. You can have mock interviews with your project leaders. You organize a one-on-one session and literally go through this meeting, pretending that it is a job interview. And this is a great practice that will prepare you for real job search. And we also want to connect you with multiple project leaders. So we'll launch several projects in biotech, in computer science, data science, etc. So you'll have a chance to ask questions and receive mentorship, not only from your project leader, but other people who launch projects simultaneously. In terms of our timeline, this Monday, we launched 26 projects. The descriptions are available on the platform called Parkadew. And this and next week, we host information sessions for students from our partner schools. So you have a chance to learn more about the projects. The deadline for your applications is Sunday, June 5th, by the end of the day, which is like midnight Pacific time. The week after that, project leaders will review your applications and each of them will select 2 students to work with. We'll inform everyone about the decisions. And after that, from the following week, which starts on June 13, you will meet with your project leader for the first time. The day and time will be discussed with you. So we want each project leader to find time that works for students. That's why it's not an exact time when everyone starts working. And for the next 8 weeks, also you'll discuss with project leader when to meet for group session and also individual meetings. And then at the beginning of August, you will present your work to project leader, the other student, and sometimes companies representatives in the final session.
Alina, can you just repeat during those 8 weeks, how long, like what the expectation is for students during those 8 weeks, how much time they should be spending?
Yes. So each week we expect you to work around 5 hours. So in total, it is 40-hour project. And again, we want it to be flexible. So if we know that you know that you are going on vacation and won't be available for, I don't know, a week in July, communicate it to your project leader. We have the capacity to extend the project, like pause it for a week, and then you finish not on August 1st, but for example, August 8th. So it's totally doable. Or you can discuss that instead of working this week 5 hours, you'll work 10 hours and then kind of do nothing next week because you go to vacation. So our project leaders will be very flexible and try to accommodate your schedule in this regard. Any other questions? I want to keep presenting the slides, so won't see the chat. Or maybe you can share if there is any questions in the chat, and please ask or unmute yourself and ask questions directly.
There's no questions in the chat so far.
Okay. Anything that you wanted to ask, guys? Then I would definitely encourage you to check the descriptions and apply. And Ru, maybe you can talk about how to do so. Would you like to share your screen?
Yeah.
To show the interface. Okay.
Well, actually, Elena, I want to show them how to like sign up first, and then I can share my screen as a student.
Should I share back the slides? Yeah. Okay. Okay, yes.
All right, so to apply to these micro-internships, you have to go to Parker Dewey. It's a website with a lot of internships, and all of our internships are there. So you have to create an account as a student, right? So it takes a few seconds. You have to put in your school, your information, your name, you know, make sure that you select Queens College in your app when creating your profile. If you do not select Queens College, you will not see our projects, and you cannot apply to our projects. So that is a must. You must see that there, and I'll show you that in a few seconds. So you click on opportunities, and then you'll see all the opportunities there for us that we offer. You select on the project, right? You answer these 2 to 3 questions, and I'm just going to show it to you now. So I can share my screen. But yeah, signing up is really simple. Takes less than 5 minutes. So once you sign up, does everybody see my screen? Right. Once you sign up, this will be basically your homepage, right? You're on opportunities, and you see all our projects, our micro-internships, right? We have 26. To look through them, you click on details, right? Make sure you read through the job description, right? The skills required for each project. And if you like it, if you wanted to apply, right? Click on apply for this project. And you see that all of our projects are $600. They're all virtual, right? And they are, again, made to stack on top of your workload, right? If you have a full-time job now, you can easily make $600 by just doing this project for 8 weeks, right? And then just to apply, you answer these 3 questions. Some of them have 2 questions, right? And some of them have easy questions, right? Please answer it in 2 to 3 sentences. And other ones have, please answer in a paragraph. So it's really simple to apply. Doesn't take too much of your time. And I know you guys are in finals week right now. But yeah, very simple. Once you finish this, you submit your application, and then we should get back to you about 2 weeks max, about if you got accepted.
So about this, we are going to reach out to everyone during the week, June 6th to, yeah, that week.
And also you can apply to more than one, right? So if 2 attracts you, if 2 projects attract you, feel free to apply to those 2 projects. And also it's rolling, so you can always apply to our projects. You can, I don't know, take 4 projects in a year, if you want to with us. So yeah, it's limitless, right? You can have limitless experience with this.
And I would clarify that by rolling, we mean that these projects will start in the mid of June, but we will have many more throughout the year. So we now we have several projects that are wrapping up because they started this spring, and we'll definitely have more at the second part of summer, in fall, in winter. And this platform overall, we would encourage you to register and check other micro-internships as well, because it is a great opportunity to see what different companies offer, participate, and by the moment you graduate, have several projects on your resume that demonstrate your skills to potential hiring manager.
Yeah, just
I wanted
to clarify, these are only the Open Avenues projects on Parker Dewey. All of you have access to a lot of other companies.
Yeah.
So what Rua missed was that you actually search for Open Avenues on here, and that's when all of our projects come up. So
well, good
you'll
thing
be able
about
to see all of our projects on here as soon as you search for Open Avenues. And we do have these throughout the year, but just one more piece of information is that during the summer, they're a bit longer. We're doing 8-week projects with a higher stipend of $600 because you don't have a full course workload. But during the fall and the spring semesters, when we launch projects, they're shorter. They're $200 stipends, and they're meant to provide you with something that you can do outside of the classroom. So just thinking forward and planning ahead of when you want to participate, just know that they are a bit different in the summer than they are throughout the year. But we absolutely, as Rua said, encourage you to apply now, do one this semester, do one during the summer. We'd love to see more applicants come through from the SEEK program in the fall and the spring as well.
The only thing, I don't think you really need to search for our project, because we specifically target students from Queen's College, and on Parker Dewey, it allows us to be like at the top of the list, which is exciting.
So this is why it's so important to to put your university as Queen's College CUNY. Right. If it's anything else, if it's not one of our partner schools, because we partner closely with Queen's College and especially SEEK students, you will not see these projects. So I'm logged in as a student right now, and it says featured projects, right? And it's because I'm a Queen's College student in this case. I was a Queen's College student.
Awesome.
So the projects that I see are with who we partner with. So this is what
One other thing that I wanted to mention, you can notice that some projects say city San Francisco or Seattle or Los Angeles. It doesn't mean that you need to be in this city. All our projects are remote. These are indicators that the project leader is in respective city. But again, we always find time that works for everyone despite time zones. Any questions? No questions? Awesome. Then we can, if you get some questions during the session, please ask what level of expertise in the field is required to apply. It depends on the project. For all of them, we tried to target it to students like in the second or third year of studies. But you will see in every project, there is a section called required skills. So just read through it, and it has examples. We try, when we write basic knowledge of Python or basic knowledge of molecular biology, we try to clarify what it means, in our opinion, to have basic level of knowledge. So we hope it gives you a good understanding of the level of complexity of projects. If you have questions, if you want to clarify something, we'll share our email addresses. Feel free to reach out to Rua or me, and we will clarify it further. But thank you for this question. Awesome. So I'm going to present back.
Jessica, did you want to add something there?
Yeah, I just wanted to clarify something, that everyone that's here, you were personally selected based off of your courses that you have taken, based off of the description that Open Avenues gave us. So if you are here, feel confident to apply to a micro internship. Make sure you read, of course, the details to make sure what you're applying for, but understand that you were chosen because we felt like that you met that level of expertise. So don't think that you may not know something, because you most likely already do.
Awesome. So the next part, I guess we can switch to panel discussion. I'm super excited about this part. And I would like to present our project leaders. And I will ask the first question, and then I encourage all students to ask questions in the chat, and we'll go through them. So I would like all project leaders to quickly introduce themselves and answer the first question, which is, what do you do? And how did you get to this point? What was your career journey? Emily, maybe we can start with you.
Okay, sure. Hi, everyone. I'm really excited to be here to meet all of you all virtually. My name's Emily. I'm a molecular biology fellow at OAF, and my background is, well, I work at a AI oncology, artificial intelligence, precision medicine oncology startup. We're a virtual company. It was spun out of a venture capital firm called Red Cell Partners that is in Washington, DC. I got connected to them through during my postdoc in New York. I was at NYU for my postdoc, and how I got here. It's like a. I'll try to give you the abridged version, but I never planned on even doing a PhD. I didn't know anyone who had a PhD. I didn't even know that you could just be a scientist. I liked science. And so in school, I just thought, to me, that meant I will work in a lab. Like, I'm just going to get a job in a lab as a tech. And so I also went to a community college so I'm from Canada. I grew up in Victoria, British Columbia. And so I went to a college similar to America. Your first 2 years, you could either transfer to your third year at a university for an undergrad degree, or in this program that I did, it was called Applied Chemistry, Biochemistry. You had a certificate because you did so much lab work, and then there was a co-op at the end. So I was like, okay, great, this is awesome. I'll have some work experience, and then I'll get a job. And the director of the program, all of the professors and everything, they were so encouraging. Like, they were like, if you should go on to do, undergrad or graduate school. And I was like, no, I hate school. I don't want to do it. And they were like, okay, at least go. So the director of my program, his best friend was this really well-known scientist in Canada, did cancer research, which is what I wanted to do. And he's like, set me up with a internship in his lab. And then from there, I just met the most amazing mentors and people I work for. And they were like, if you want to be independent, if you want to design your own experiments, if you want to, work with students and have this, you need to do grad school. So I was like, no, I don't want to do that. Like, anyways, it was like this big thing. And then so I did it, and I had just the most amazing mentors and committee, and they spent so much time with me, like helping me, how to get scholarships and how to, write papers and build your CV, and then explain to me the next steps after, what you need to do. So I really wanted to have my own lab. And so I was on this academic path. I want to have my own research lab, and I was going to go back to Vancouver, and I had, interview in September to have my own lab. And, but then this opportunity came up with this, an old collaborator put me in touch with this startup, and I started collaborating with them, and it was just so fun. And and then so the exact kind of research that I wanted to do in my own lab. But so I made the leap into startup biotech world, and it's been super fun and awesome working with OAF and meeting these students, because that was the only thing I was missing with this job, was interacting with young people. So happy
Thanks
to be
for
here.
sharing. Thank you, Emily. Every time I hear your story, it's so exciting, because it's a great example when you kind of don't expect and even don't want to do something, but then life pushes you in a particular way, and you find out that actually that's an interesting and meaningful path for yourself. And especially when you say that you didn't like school, but then like not for the reasons that you were not curious or something, but because it didn't work out for you, and then you find a place when it worked out for you. That's
I liked some classes very, very much, and others not. But the thing that worked for me was just thinking of grad school like it was like a trade. Like my brothers, my family, they're electricians. Like that, my dad, it's like a certificate. So if you want to have your own lab, if you want to direct your own research, you need a PhD. That's just your ticket. You can still do research and work with people, but and then you can, as you progress, undergrad is, you don't really have much choice, but as you progress, you really can just tailor it to exactly like what you're interested in. And I think these internships are a really good opportunity to find out what you're interested in. So try different things and then see what you're excited about. And if you're excited about something, you're going to be good at it, I think.
Yeah. And the other part, you will probably find that some things you thought you're interested in, but it turned out not really. It's a great result as well, because those micro-internships will save you time post-graduation pursuing something that is not a good path for you. So it's great to use those micro-internships also to figure out what you actually don't like so much. And yeah, that's meaningful results as well. Shraddha, maybe you can go on next.
Hi. Elena, are you talking to me? Sorry, my internet
Yes.
crapped out in the middle. Okay. Hi, everybody. I'm Shraddha. I am a senior software engineer at a company called Even Financial, which is a fintech company in New York. And we kind of, we're a platform to help you find the best financial product based off of some of the features of your. And we actually just got acquired last month, 2 months ago. So it's been a fun time. What I do, I basically 80% of my time I'm writing code to build a platform that Even Financial, that powers the services for Even Financial. I've been here for a couple of years, but I've been working as a software engineer for 4 years now. But that's not what I always did. I used to be an economic analyst, actually. That's what my undergrad degree is in, that and history. And then I worked as an economic analyst for a little bit, realized I hate it. But luckily I was in a small enough company where, I was allowed to experiment. They needed some help with technical things, and I volunteered. And that's kind of when I realized that I really enjoy writing code, and I'm a big nerd. And it just kind of went from there. I did my grad school, I worked there for some more time, and of course is online. And then I went to grad school for computer science. And then I was at Bank of America for a little bit, which was a really good experience to be in a big firm like that. But I found out, for me personally, I prefer in like a faster paced environment, which tends to not be the case for big institutions like banks. So I ended up in a startup. I really like what I do. It's like solving puzzles all day, which I find really, intellectually kind of stimulating. And yeah, the project we're doing for the summer is actually Wordle. I'm going to be trying to get you guys to recreate the game. And it's in a language that I don't actually write my code in on the regular basis. So it's also going to be a little bit of a challenge, or like a learning experience for me to work with you guys through that project. Yeah, that's my story.
Thank you, Shraddha. I think it's another great example when like you your journey is not straightforward and you have to take leaps, but then it comes to something meaningful and interesting for you. Alex, would you like to share your story?
Hi everyone, nice to meet you all. My name is Alex Batchelor. I'm a molecular biology fellow at OIF, and then I'm also kind of a jack of all trades, master of none at Tamer. I run a data team that supports our life sciences customers. We build data products that life sciences customers use. So I actually my background is in biology. I did my undergraduate degree and a PhD in neuroscience. But actually from my first internship, that first internship really shaped my whole career. I have been working with data and working on software and coding. And my first internship was actually to support a lab that was basically taking out one by one each gene in the mouse genome and collecting data on what effect that had. And my job was to collect all the data and put it in a data warehouse that would make it easy for other people to go and find the data that was relevant to them. And that's kind of what I still do now at Tamer. My job is, Tamer is a software company that uses the tools of data science to clean data and aggregate kind of messy data from many different sources. So I'm kind of back to where I started in my first internship, which was now over 10 years ago, still doing the same kind of thing. So the internship, the micro-internship that I'll be running kind of reflects my background in that there's some life sciences knowledge, but also a lot of the kind of main skill required is coding and working with data. So a little bit more data focused than the kind of pure software internships. And I really kind of, and actually from the kind of last session I ran, I had some students who came from kind of just biology backgrounds, just science backgrounds, and some students who came from doing software engineering and doing data engineering. So I'm open to people applying from both of those backgrounds.
Thank you, Alex. I would like to stop sharing my screen so I personally can see everyone's faces now. And let's switch to students' questions. Does anyone have any? You can just unmute yourself or put them in the chat. If not, I can ask like tons of questions, but I would like to give you guys space.
I have a question I'd like to ask everyone. What are you looking for in your candidates that apply to your projects this summer?
Is that a question to us, Danielle?
It is. Who wants to start?
Mine's easy. I can answer. I just all I really care about is a good attitude. Like if you're, like that, I think that's like the that foundation. You can, like, all of you guys are smart. Yeah, like you can learn anything, and I think that's pretty much what you learn in grad school anyway. Like when that's the goal. You go through grad school, you have your PhD, you learn so much about a tiny thing. You're not probably gonna, in your career, use that exact knowledge, but what you've done, what you've achieved is just like this sort of confidence that you can learn anything. And if you have that going in, you can do anything. And I think that that's like for my molecular biology specific micro internship, it's like, I mean, the knowledge is just like, what's the order? DNA, mRNA, protein, or DNA, you know, like it's just, that's all you have to know really. And you could Google it. But yeah, it's just, I think that going in, that you should have confidence to apply to any of those things that you see that pique your interest. And if you're interested in it, just convey that to the fellow. And I think personally, I think that's the most important thing in any job. And that's what we look for too in our companies when we hire people too.
Yeah, I agree. I think, you know, curiosity, like Emily said, is very important. And then also somebody just looking to kind of have fun while learning. It's gonna, you know, building stuff through coding is a very fun process because it's like iterative. You write some code and then you like test it and it works. It's kind of thrilling. So just somebody who's open to trying something that's challenging but fun.
Yeah, and I think the same over here as well. Attitude is the most important thing. And the other thing I look for is also whether I think I can help you and whether the internship will be a kind of good next step in your career. So I like actually when, you know, someone hasn't done an internship before. That's kind of the biggest difference that I can make, that I can give someone their first internship experience. So really encourage you to kind of just apply to any of the internships that look interesting to you and kind of don't self-select out of them.
Can I add one more thing? Because that's a huge thing for me too. And I actually have that on my, what Alexandra said, like I have on mine like a paragraph about where you are currently in your goals. And for me, the most important thing is if I can help you, like if I can, you know, at whatever stage you're at, like even if it's your first one, or if you've just graduated or you're about to graduate and you don't know what to do, that's like my favorite question. I love when people, like, when I can have that kind of conversation with someone about their goals. That's my favorite thing to talk about.
And I would like to add that from my experience working with students, many of them don't realize how much other people enjoy helping you. So students usually think that, oh, these project leaders are very busy and won't like answer my small questions or won't find time for me. It's not true. From my experience working with our project leaders, they all enjoy helping students, and it's lots of satisfaction to see someone progressing in their career and knowing that you contributed to it. And the same, if we forget about those projects, I would just encourage you to not to be shy, to ask people for help, ask for mentorship, find graduates of your school who work for companies you're interested in, ask for informational interviews, or just general chat about the profession, whatever. People love to help students. It is lots of satisfaction. And I often see that students don't use those opportunities, even when they're offered multiple times. And I don't know, it bugs me a lot. I would love all of you not to be shy in this regard. And for example, ask questions now, if you have any.
May I?
Yes.
Hi, everyone. My name is Razna. I hope everyone is doing well. Yes, I agree with Ms. Alexandra and Emily that behavior and the way you present yourself is very important for a candidate. I'm a student. I don't have my company yet, but inshallah one day. But if I have to hire anyone, right, and what I would look for my candidate or employees is first, of course, as I mentioned, behavior, of course. Then second is willingness. If someone is willing to learn something, it's the most important thing I would look into someone. for my candidate. I think everyone is smart, everyone have potential to grow in their field. But if they're interested in learning different things, suppose if someone is not, if someone applying to my company and if I see they're not expert on this field, but if they're willing to learn, I think I would hire them, you know, because I just think that everyone have potential to learn and grow at any field. Suppose I came, I was majoring in computer information system. Now I'm taking 2 courses in business and I love it. And I think I'm really great at business standpoint. I think I can grow and learn so much more. And I have willingness and I'm willing to learn so much things about business. You know, so this is why, from my experience, I think people who are willing to learn, they can learn anything. Thank you.
Thanks a lot. That's a great point. And the other side of it is you should also not only demonstrate that you're willing to learn, but the other side of it is not to be afraid to admit that you don't know something, because we often discuss that one of the basic mistakes that many young career professionals make in interviews is if someone asks you a question and you don't know the answer, you try to make it up, or people always see when you don't know something, and it looks bad if you pretend to
Absolutely.
know. So just accept that you don't know it, but say, I will learn it. That's how I would do it. Just show that you are willing to improve. That's super important.
Yeah, actually, a big part of software engineering is kind of Googling stuff, you know. None of us really know how to do everything. And it's the, I guess it's the desire and I guess the tenacity to want to know it that matters more than actually knowing something.
Right. And I also want to piggyback off of that because I was a SEEK student not too long ago. I graduated 2020. And when I was in college, I did internships like crazy, right? Asking questions, right? Asking those dumb questions that you guys, right, are shy to ask, got me to Antarctica, right? That got me to Costa Rica for free doing NSF research. I did science, geology in my undergrad. And again, I know Norca says this a lot. I know Jessica says, Perez and Professor Blackman says this a lot. Networking, you guys need to network, right? Networking can get you your next job. The person next to you right now, well, the person that you see next to you could get you your next job, right? Alex can get you your next job. Emily, right? Sharada can get you your next job. So it's just the power of networking, asking questions, and also, yeah, your willingness. Because I know a lot of companies that will hire you just based on, they see that you're eager, they see that you have grit, and they see that you want to learn, and they're like, yeah, I want that in my company, right? So don't be intimidated about these titles. I know these titles look crazy, but just do it, right? Shoot your shot. The worst that can happen is you get rejected. Right? So yeah, that's my take on it. Do as many internships as you can. Those internships really, when people see that on your resume, they want to hire you.
Or micro-internships.
Right, they're little internships.
We have a question that just came into the chat. Oh, sorry, Emily, go ahead.
I was just going to say, they look good on your CVs, on your resumes for jobs, but they also are really, really good for scholarships for grad school as well. For the same reasons, all those things that Ruth said, like it shows initiative, like it's not necessarily about what you learned, but about the fact that you did it and that you did it. So just wanted to make that.
Awesome. And Elena, I think this question's for you if you want to take a shot at answering.
Yes, and actually I just posted the reply in chat. I don't know the answer to it, but that's a great opportunity to send me an email with the title of the project. I'll reach out to the project leader and ask, and then share back with you if you provide your email. Awesome. Any other questions?
I just want to also answer that, from a, we don't expect that you have work experience in machine learning, right? What we're expecting is that maybe you know enough about it to write in an application why you're interested in learning about it. And maybe you've taken some courses that have prepared you to really tackle that kind of project, right? So we will definitely get a more detailed answer to you, but just, I want to make it very clear that the expectation is not that you have a lot of experience already in machine learning. That is learned many times in either a PhD program or in the workforce itself, when you get to that level of complexity in the field. So that's not the expectation, but I'm really glad you asked that, Sitar.
Okay. Any other questions? Otherwise, I can ask more. Okay, I want to ask about your pet peeves as hiring manager, as we just kind of went to this direction, discussing what is good, what you're looking for in candidates, what you don't like to see when you talk with potential candidates. What breaks your heart as hiring managers?
I really like interviews to be a conversation. So I think kind of one mistake sometimes people make is if I ask a question in an interview, kind of talking for a very long time in a way that you wouldn't in a conversation, and then and not asking me questions. Like ideally, I ask you a question, you ask me a question, and it becomes a conversation, rather than me having to go through a kind of a list of questions. Sometimes I will kind of say, really appreciating your questions, and I have a couple things I need to go through. But most of the time I want it to just be a conversation and get to know someone. So just practicing having kind of conversations with friends where you practice kind of answering questions succinctly, and then asking questions back is a good way to prepare for interviews.
I would say, having really strong opinions and not being open to kind of being challenged on them is a little bit difficult, because it breeds kind of not a great, working relationship. So I think it's good to have strong opinions, but they should be weakly held, in the sense that you should be open to a dialogue and either get convinced otherwise, or convince me of your opinion. So kind of just being open-minded.
I second both of those. And then we'll just add, I think Elena already mentioned it. You can really tell when someone's like, so, we like, especially at a startup, you hire for like a range of experiences. You don't have to, like be the expert. We have people who we know have that expertise based off of, their work history or whatever. So like for an entry level job, you're not expected at all to know everything. And then you just, you notice when someone's like, they're like BSing you or something. You're just like, okay, like just, it's so much better just to be like, oh, I don't actually know what that is, but like, can you, like, what should I look at? How should I search it? How can I learn more about it? Or something like that. Like just, which I think most people are like that anyway. So it's like what kind of Alex said, it's like, have a conversation. In a conversation, you wouldn't pretend to know everything. You'd be like, oh, cool, what is that? Or, like that's kind of a better way to go, I think, personally. But then just kind of, like trying to show that you like know everything. It's like, that's not the goal. So yeah.
I also want to second all those points, especially about having strong opinions and asking questions. My first and latest job experience as hiring manager is actually hiring Rua for this position. And it's just fascinating to see how many candidates with lots of experience, like 10, 20 years of experience, don't have those qualities that allows you to feel safe as a hiring manager, that if I hire this person, I won't need to micromanage him or her, or this person has strong opinions about work ethics, or ask me questions demonstrating that they are really interested in the position. So for the, I muted myself. Okay, so with Open Avenues, we prepared for students who participate in our internship a list of questions that we recommend to ask during interviews. There are many more than you will be able to ask in any interview, but download and use it and add your own questions to, not to get in the situation that you are in the middle of a meeting and don't know what to ask. So feel free to use
I want to
resources.
wrap up also by clarifying the application process does not include an interview. For this case, we do talk a lot through the process of the micro-internship about how to approach a future interview and how to nail the job once you have these micro-internships and experiences on your resume. But for this position, what we're requiring is you to answer those 2 to 3 questions, and then uploading. If you have a resume, awesome, please upload it. If you have a LinkedIn, you're able to attach it in your profile, but it's not required because we know that sometimes you don't have the things to put on your resume yet. And this is meant to be that first thing for many of you. So it's okay if you don't. What we really want you to focus on in the application is your answers to these questions, because Strada and Alex and Emily just spent a lot of time telling you that they want to hear your passions, your goals. They want you to be, communicative about what your interests are and why you want to be participating in one of these projects. So if we see that come through, and if Alex and Strada and Emily see that come through, that's going to be a really great candidate. And then we'll work throughout the project or at the end of the project on figuring out how to put this on your resume. So thank you all so much for joining today. We really hope to see a bunch of you applying. Make sure that Jessica just put in the attendance link in the chat. Please fill that out. Alina also attached a resource on interviews. If anyone has interviews that are coming up, you can check that out. Those are examples of resources we will provide you if you do participate in our programming. So thanks everyone, and we hope you have a good rest of your day. Good luck on finals.
Yeah, good luck on finals.
Good luck, you guys. Bye-bye.
Bye everyone.
Bye.
Thank you for joining, Jessica.
See you later.
I'll end it now.